a returning viewer, thank you, I appreciate you, and welcome back to my channel. If you are a new viewer, subscribe to my channel because in my next video, I will be answering all of your questions. All you have to do is leave your question in the comment section of this video, and I will be uploading it on Monday, February 21st. Feel free to ask me any SLPA questions, any mommy questions, first time mom, life questions, college questions, whatever it is. I plan on answering all of that in my next video. But for today's video, I am sharing with you all my SLPA necessities and what I think you really need for your first SLPA type job. I'm making this video because I remember when I first started out, when I was in early intervention, I was Googling some sort of guide for SLP assistants. I wanted to know, like, what are the basics? What do I really need to succeed in this job? And there's nothing. A lot of the stuff out there is for SLPs. So while it still may apply for assistants, I didn't feel like it was really speaking to me. These necessities kind of go across all settings. While I did begin in early intervention and I worked with babies, I found that a lot of that stuff that I had to buy and get from my first job, I was still using and applying for the job I have today, which is working in a school setting. So I use a lot of the same materials. Sure, my kit, my materials have grown, especially with my supervisors. They've been kind enough to gift me items. So I've expanded in that sense, but I still use a lot of the same basic materials. Number one, you need binders. If not two, then for sure get yourself one binder. I found myself using two when I first started because I felt like there was so much information I was having to take in and having to remember at the top of my head. So many people asking me questions, family members or different professionals that were having to ask me questions, and I was like, I went to school for this, I should know this. So in my binder, number one, I had a lot of reference guides, or like quick reference guides, as in around what age should they know these sounds, around this age for Spanish, what sounds should they know. That was just for me to have a quick sort of page to turn to. And then I also kept like parent guides or parent sheets. That I would keep it when parents would ask me, what activities can I do at home? And while I was helping them in early intervention, I would give them like an additional paper. Hey, if they're struggling with this, then do this at home and fill out these blanks and stuff. So you can find a lot of printouts online if you just Google speech and language, but I recommend one entire binder for that sort of stuff. I kept that binder in my car at all times in my first job because I didn't know when I was gonna need it. And I wanted to feel ready. I could just be like, hey, I have that in my car. Let me just go grab it real quick and I'll come bring it back. Binder number two, I think, is the most important because this is where I recommend you keep your goal sheets and your caseload. I think it's super important to really keep that on you, if not every day, like every week, glance at it, because your caseload may always be changing, the goals may be changing. You want to see where your kids are at in terms of progress and stuff, right? So while you may have like a big bank of folders or a room full of folders where they keep all this information, I find that having a binder with copies of all the kids you see for speech therapy is super helpful because you're able to look back immediately, right? You're not having to be like, oh, I don't have Karina's goal sheet with me. I don't know what her goals are. So that binder I really recommend because it'll save your life. The third thing I think you need for yourself as an SLPA is a planner. This does not have to be a specific one. While I love and ride hard for a passion planner, it does not have to be a planner that's broken down. If a simple one is for you, then that's great. If a digital planner is more your style, go for it. But I think a planner is essential, one, for your speech sessions, two, for just deadlines and important dates, and then three, if you want to use it for personal life, that's great too. But I think a planner is extremely essential because things are always changing. It's the nature of this job. And being an SLPA, you have to still attend to your supervisor. You're the assistant, so you have to be planning out these meetings with them. You have to do the direct observation, the indirect observation. So having a planner is super essential. Next group of items is going to be things that you're going to use in your speech sessions and just to be successful as an SLPA. A dry erase board and a dry erase marker is number one because that will go such a long way. You can do lots of things with that. You can make teams with that. You can draw pictures, you can write single words and work through the word, you can write a list of words, you can do so much with a dry erase board and a marker. So I think that's something that you definitely need. Next thing you want to get your hands on is like a deck of simple cards. This could be from a company, this could be from Target, this could be anywhere you find just simple pictures, like a car and then a house, or a mom, a dad, a star, shapes, simple items, just basic cards. You want to get your hands on something like that, because that I have used so many times in small groups and individual groups. You can target so much. So I think simple cards, like a deck of some sort, will be like a material you will use really often. Lastly, like a just general idea of games and toys. I remember I bought sensory activities when I started because I thought that was very essential, but not necessarily. I don't use that in the school setting. I use that a lot more in early intervention. If you're gonna go that route, I recommend dollar store, you know, for the foam type of balls. And you can get marbles, you can buy cars at the dollar store. I also recommend the Target like dollar spot. That area has a lot of stuff, and the good thing about Target is that that stuff is kind of seasonal, right? So around Valentine's Day, if you want to do Valentine's Day activities for your speech sessions, I would go and check that out first, because they normally have even like toys for games, or they have card games, they have books, they have a lot of educational stuff that you can incorporate in your speech and language activities. I also recommend going to stores that sell gently used items. A great example is the store Once Upon a Child. I don't think it's only in Texas, I think it's everywhere. This is a store that essentially sells used items. You get my point. I really recommend you just go to stores that are affordable, you know, do what you can. So again, the things I recommend for you as the SLPA for your speech sessions are a dry erase board and a dry erase marker for articulation, for language, anything. And then also get your hands on a simple card sort of deck. The pictures, it could be paper, it could be cutouts, whatever works for you. And then the third thing, or my third recommendation, is to check out stores like Target, Once Upon a Child, stores that sell gently used items, or, you know, very cheap items, because those go a long way as well. And you're gonna reuse these things over and over and over. So don't think you have to go on Amazon and buy the most expensive thing or the most expensive kit, because that's not always what works best. So that's all I have for y'all today and for this video. If you did like it, please make sure to give my video a like, and remember to comment down below your question for the next video. So I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.